What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be going over my favorite split that I've used over the past couple years to put on the most amount of muscle possible. Before we get started, I think it would be good to note that I have been lifting for 4 years consistently and around 7 years total. And also I'm going to pop up some of my credentials, show physique, you know. So I'm going to pop up some of my credentials so you know that I have somewhat of an idea of what I'm talking about. Okay, so to give you kind of an idea of what the split is, it's a modified PPL is what I call it. Basically, I take the roots of a push-pull leg split and I basically modify it a little bit, and you'll see what I mean as we get into it. In this video, I'm going to break down every single day of the split and take you through an entire workout pretty much. It's a 3-day split, and basically I do 3 days on, 1 day off. We're going to get into it with the first day being chest and delts. We started off the day with incline Smith, which is one of my favorite compound movements for the chest. I love this movement a lot. I've talked about it in previous videos why I like it so much. It's stable, you get a good contraction, good stretch, everything, all the above. After that, we did rear delt flies and then cable lateral raises. So we already started the shoulders, we're already on the cables. We're just gonna go ahead and knock out lateral raises as well.
How long will I slide or separate my side? I don't believe it's been slitting my throat. It's all I am. I heard your voice through a photograph. I thought that I've been brought up the path.
I worked in a little bit higher of a rep range with the flat dumbbell press. It can also serve as a compound lift, but I always prioritize the incline movements over flat because it's very hard to have an overdeveloped upper chest. It's almost impossible. And if you hit incline like heavy, more often than not, you're going to actually stimulate enough chest growth for your entire chest. We finished off the day with dumbbell lateral raises and then seated cable flies, both great exercises that I like to do a lot towards the end of my workouts. I just have one exercise left, and that is flies, so you'll see it. I'm almost on the lift, W lift. Solid pump so far. So the plan is to run you guys through every single day of the split to give you a full outline of what I do for like a 1 rotation bias, like a full cycle, a full rotation of the split. So it'll be 3 lifts. This is the first 1 of 3. Tomorrow, coming up soon. All right, let's finish up the lift to get out of here. Boom. Moving on to day 2, back and arms. First, we let off with barbell rows, another great compound lift. One of my favorite back exercises of all time. I built my back off of barbell rows in my home gym, actually. The next movement was one-arm machine rows. I love one-arm movements for back, or in general, just because you can fix any imbalances, muscle imbalances, basically by starting off with the weaker side and then doing that same amount of reps on the stronger side so that they even out over time. Next, we went into lat pull downs, which was the finisher, which is what we finished back with. And then we hit arms. First, we did the JM press. JM press has grown on me like crazy. I started the JM press a couple months, maybe like 5-6 months ago, and I fell in love with it. I started off actually learning it on free weights on barbell just because I couldn't feel it right with the Smith machine. So if you feel like you can't feel it right on the Smith machine when you're doing JM press, then I'd recommend starting on free weight just because it really makes you learn the form like properly before diving into Smith. After that, our first movement for the biceps was incline dumbbell hammer curls. One thing I absolutely love about hitting biceps and triceps in the same day is the fact that you can superset them very easily because they're contrasting muscle groups. The reasoning why contrasting muscle groups are great for supersets is because basically when you're doing a curl, for example, your triceps are barely, if anything, working at all because it's a contrasting muscle group and you don't use your triceps at all during a bicep curl. The point being that after you finish your bicep curl, you can move into a tricep movement and vice versa very easily. With that being said, number one, it can add a lot of intensity, and number two, it can save a lot of time. So if you're on a time crunch, supersetting contrasting muscle groups is huge.
I just wanna stay in the sun where I find I know it's hard sometimes. Pieces of peace in the sun's peace of mind. I know it's hard sometimes. Yeah, I think about the...
Alright, it is day 3 of the split, the final day, leg day. Another late night lift. I don't know, morning lifts are great too, but there's just something about that late night lift that just hits different. But anyways, last day, leg day of the split. Let's get into it.
But it's fun to fantasize on my enemies who wouldn't wish who I was. But it's fun to fantasize.
We start off, I always start the leg day off with the squat pattern. Today we did pendulum squat. I usually do hack squat or barbell squat or pendulum squat, but today I was feeling the pendulum. After that, we hit barbell RDLs for the hammies. Then leg extensions, a classic. Really no explanation needed there. Finishing off the hamstrings with the laying down hammy curls. Seated are great too. But I don't know, sometimes I like to switch it up, do either one. They're both good. And then we finish off the day with calf extensions on the leg press machine. One thing that I love about the split is you can easily throw in another split at any point in time. Because of that rest day, you can implement a different 3-day split very easily. I started off this split actually with the Arnold split, basically rotating every single 3 days. And I've biased this split more and more and more over time, if that makes sense. So now I almost always hit the split. I rarely hit the Arnold split anymore, unless I'm like, this is getting stale, I need to switch it up for a rotation, then I'll do that. Okay, so basically how I came up with the split, essentially, I was doing the traditional PPL split, and I was finding that the push day was a little bit heavy on volume, and I needed to move something somewhere else to even out the days that I was in the gym, because I would be in the gym for like 2.5 hours when I was hitting push, and then like 1.5 hours when I was hitting pull. So basically, my solution was to take the triceps off of the push day, which is chest, delts, tris. I took the triceps off and then moved it onto the back day. So instead of chest, delts, tris, then the next day back and bis, and then legs, it's chest, delts without the triceps, and then move the triceps onto the pull day. So then it's back and arms, and then the last day's legs. I've found it's been awesome. I loved it a lot because my pull days were way shorter than my push days, so I wanted to kind of even them out to make a more consistent gym schedule, like a routine. And I was getting more fatigued towards the end of my lift, and by the time I was hitting triceps, I felt like I was already out of gas, you know? So that was my philosophy going in, and I've seen good results from it. I've been doing it for a couple years now. So yeah, day 1, chest and delts. Day 2, back and arms. Day 3, legs. I realized after filming and editing this YouTube video that I needed to say a couple more things, and I had to film an outro. So we're doing the outro with a pretty view. The first point I wanted to make is that this split is obviously entirely my opinion, and everyone's gonna have their own opinion. The main point being is just to do your own research and come up to your own conclusions on what your favorite split is. Hopefully this video was able to like serve as a guide or give you some extra information to help you narrow down what your favorite split will be. And the last point isn't really a point, but I just wanted to let you know that like I wanted to film in a bright environment because I got a new toy for my camera. It's called a variable ND filter. It's basically like sunglasses for your lens. So yeah, let me know how it looks. Hopefully it looks good. Basically the point of it is to like be able to film in a very low aperture with like a blurry background, even when it's super bright out, which obviously it's very bright out right now. But yeah, that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, because I enjoyed making it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.